don't believe there are any guests. They can speak up. Would ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the May 20th, 2020 meeting.
This is Rita, so moved.
No, Ryan will second.
Thank you both. Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Finance report committee?
Nothing to report. No checks today.
Well, since there's nothing to report, we won't need to approve of nothing to report. Action items. I assume this is where we're going to need to go into executive session before we start this.
Yeah, executive session probably should have been listed before action items, but yep.
Okay, then I would entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss financial matters.
This is Rita, so moved.
Bill Holgate.
Seconded.
Okay, thank you, Rita and Bill. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We're in executive session. under action items would be the COVID loan deferral payments.
Are we live again, Mike?
We are live.
Okay. So yeah, we're just following up from the various COVID-19 related issues. The agreement based on the sheet handed out, emailed to the board for the various businesses that would like to continue with the deferrals. We need a motion to approve those.
This is Kim, so moved.
Second, Rita.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Yeah, Ryan abstains.
Okay. Thank you. So that's carried. The next item on our agenda is the loan request with respect to the Landis property.
Yep. Landis Scaping and Design Incorporated is seeking a $150,000 loan. Would be 7-year term, interest rate 2.6% fixed. Collateral presented would be a UCC filing on Landis Scaping and Design in the second position, a mortgage on the property in second position, personal guarantee from Neil Martin, and a subordination agreement that requires the Finger Lakes Horizon Corporation is paid back second.
Would somebody like to make that motion? Someone?
This is Kim, so moved.
This is Serene. I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Questions, comments, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Yeah, this is Ryan. I'll abstain.
Okay, that's carried. I don't see anything else on our agenda other than our next meeting, which we haven't decided when it's going to be. So with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, Rita.
All in favor? Okay, I guess you are. Since there's no one opposed, we'll call that meeting officially adjourned and move into our next meeting, which is the Economic Development Center, Finger Lakes Economic Development Center. I'll call the meeting to order. And we have executive session. Is that needed?
Yep, to discuss the financials of some particular company as well as potential purchase and sale of property.
All right. May I have a motion then to go into executive session?
So moved. This is Serene.
Seconded, Rita.
Seconded, Kim.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
All right, we are streaming live again.
Okay, that's very good. Okay, so agenda item number 3 is approval of the minutes of our May 20th meeting.
There is a correction on page 1. It says FLEDC members by present. We just need to take out by. Thanks to Doug Paddock for that. That's the only correction I'm aware of, unless someone else has something.
No.
Could make a motion to approve with that change.
Second, Rita.
Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? And carried. So, any changes in the agenda, I guess I would acknowledge we've taken number 3 out of action items. And Steve is going to add something else.
Yep. Yeah, can remove item 3, pending loan request. We can add, I guess it would be item 6, becoming item 5, however you want to look at that.
Let's call it 6.
All right. It's just phase 1 environmental request.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody wants to add action items? Okay, hearing none, then the financial report, which we all received.
Yep. Total check is $95,495.45, which a little over half of that's the Finger Lakes Railroad pilot that was paid out to the municipalities. And I don't know if anyone else has any other questions on anything. The water increase of the $600 was due to the increase in the capital charge for the Cooper Park Water and Sewer District. I'm also going to go back and look at the usage just to make sure that we were down for the quarter that we just, due to COVID. I don't know if anyone's got any other questions.
Hearing no questions at this point, I'd entertain a motion to accept the financial reports.
Make the motion to accept. It's Ryan.
Ryan.
I'm second.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? And carried. 2 pages of management review. Doreen, you're on first.
I don't have any updates. Joe did return to work on Monday with a little bit light duty, which has been fine. And that's all I have.
Okay. Michael Lapari.
Yep. So Sunday was the due date for the preliminary applications for the building improvement fund, and despite only having about 2 going into the weekend, we finished with I think a total of 12, possibly 13 applications for the building improvement fund. So I was happy with the end result there. I knew the virus was gonna slow that down a little bit. So again, pretty happy with the overall turnout. The range of requests varies pretty significantly. We have a few that are asking for the maximum of $100,000, and some that are asking for closer to the minimum. I gotta dive into them a little deeper. I've given them all a quick glance, see if the amount of request is near what we have available, or if it exceeds that, and continue the process. Right now, Insight Architecture is reviewing all the applications as well, and projects will be selected by both Insight and our Building Improvement Fund Committee to select projects to receive additional support from Insight Architecture, design, engineering type services. Then we'll set a final application due date for approximately mid-July, which will put us on schedule for scoring, review, scoring, and award of projects realistically around the beginning to early August. So moving forward with that, and looking forward to seeing what type of projects are there, and how we can continue to improve Penny Inn. Did have conversations with most of the individual awarded DRI projects, and as I thought, the most of them have kind of been at a standstill as a result of the virus. Most projects have been in communication with their state agency to make sure that kind of everyone's on the same page, and those agencies have been understanding of the delay, trying to weather the storm, see where things are as things start reopening. So I'll be in contact with them more frequently to begin pushing forward and start getting some progress going with those individual awarded projects. Any questions on either of those? That's rest of it was kind of discussed throughout the meeting.
Anything more for Michael? Mike, the other Mike, Mike 2, Mike 1.
I really do not have anything specific I want to add to what the report says. Ryan, I will be reaching out to you to have some discussions on the accounting. Dorian and I have been working on that. Nothing major, but we want to just clean up a few items, and we'll pull your expertise into that. Are there any questions?
All right, well, hearing none. Steve?
Just the only thing I would add is that I want to actually a couple of thanks. So I wanted to thank Finger Lakes Community Health, Mary Zelazny, Serene, and her team for how quick they responded to our request for a remote testing site, COVID testing site. One of the challenges that's been coming up often in being addressed in the control rooms is the fact that the remote testing sites seem to be state-sponsored ones anyways, or you have to go to MCC to access it, which is obviously fairly difficult for most of us in the perimeter counties around Monroe. So there was a couple different requests that we didn't have much luck with. That mainly, I know like Lee McKercher from Village of Penn Yan was hoping to get one for his employees and the police force, and without having much luck, I called Mary and said, "Hey, any chance Finger Lakes Community Health could do it?" And her immediately was like, "Yeah, sure, we can do it." And so, in a very short period of time, they worked with Yates County Public Health, and we got one set up, and it was done at our parking lot, and it went well. And as of today, and I think there were no positives from that test. No positive test results, I should say. I think it was a positive. We had it. No positive test results. So I just wanted to thank them for doing that. We also had, there's obviously still continues to be some frustrations, large amounts of frustrations over just trying to understand and make sense of any of the different approvals and allowances that Cuomo's coming out with, some of the guidance that's given. Can someone open? Can they not open? Can you have fixed roofs or or soft cover roofs to be open for outdoor dining and all these sort of things? So lots and lots of frustrations and concerns with it. Doug Paddock had reached out. Doug's been extremely active in the control room calls. Doug asked Vinny Esposito, who's the Vice President and Regional Director for Empire State Development, and had Bob Duffy to actually speak to the legislature in a workshop type setting, just to help answer questions and concerns that they have been fielding as members of the legislature, and other town supervisors and such. I think it was well done. That was the first one. I think it's the only one they've done like that so far with the legislature. So I think it helped at least see sort of the system that's being used, the process that's being used, and knowing that we are in fact pushing as many of these questions and I guess concerns onto them to get answers. And it's still, it takes time. The control rooms are going, I think, well, but you hope to get 2 to 3 answers per meeting out of them. More questions than that are being asked, but at least we're getting some results from it. And that's just what's still taking up almost all of my day is answering or at least fielding questions from business owners and trying to get the answers to them. Sunday he Cuomo said that release some various youth sports that could start participation. Lacrosse was not one of them, and so immediately my phone started vibrating like crazy with text after text after text about how can lacrosse not be included, especially girls lacrosse. And just as one example, every time there's a release, it just fuels more questions. So I guess we're getting there. And I guess the last thing I'll add is that I've been in touch with Chris Iverson, and he does seem to be getting finally some positive responses from New York State Attorney General on his condo review for the Boats property. The most recent email he got did ask some additional questions, but the gentleman who's reviewing it now said that once Chris gets him those responses, that he plans to prioritize and expedite the follow-up. So that's at least as promising a response that he's received in, years at this point. So I'm cautiously optimistic we'll start to see some real progress there.
So, Steve, is this a new person who's reviewing? Because the last person was a female, is that correct?
Correct. I'm going to get this, I assume, screwed up, Bill. There was a secondary review, so it made it through the first gatekeeper, if you will, who finally, she did sort of give it her approval. Then it went on to this next step, who I believe is the final step before he can go. And there were a couple additional questions, but I think it's a big step forward for him.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see that go forward.
Yeah. Yes. That's all I had.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Steve or anyone else? If not, we'll move on to our next agenda item, which is action items, and we have a Finger Lakes Winery request.
Yeah, at last month's board meeting, we approved a loan to the Finger Lakes Winery for improvements at their facility. Collateral for the project included a personal guarantee from both Christopher Bates and his partner Isabel Bogatai. They have requested that we remove the personal guarantee for Isabel. It's more of a corporate strategy and long-term vision that they have, where she may need to apply for additional liquor license for other projects they have, and having the personal guarantee for her may cause some difficulties in doing that. Most of the collateral secured with the UCC and Christopher's financials has more than enough to cover the loan, and we also have a corporate guarantee from Finger Lakes Hospitality. So there's more than enough collateral there to remove her, and in my vision, we're requesting to remove Isabel as a personal guarantor on the loan.
Would somebody like to make that motion, please?
This bill, I'll make the motion that we remove Isabel from the personal guarantee.
Thank you, Bill.
Second, Ryan.
Brian, other questions or comments, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I guess I should ask if there are abstentions. Okay, carried. Our COVID loan deferment payments.
Actually, we have to renew if we could.
Yeah, I jumped ahead. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Mike Sepula and I, as emergency check signers, we're still sort of in this semi-remote phase.
Okay, may I have a motion to, I guess we're going to extend it or renew that emergency check signing request?
This is Bill, I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Bill.
Rita, second.
Kim, so moved.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Now we'll get into the COVID-19 loan deferral.
Yep. Again, you were sent a list of the various businesses that have loans with us, along with their request to extend their deferral payments and such, and looking for an approval to go forward with those various requests, unless there are questions.
I would make the motion to accept the slated deferral request as outlined in the report.
Second, Rita.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Carried. Sales tax extension for Pinyan Manufacturing.
Yeah, so this is the Campac expansion project. Obviously, with the COVID outbreak, construction was shut down for a period of time, and they were eventually allowed to reconvene, but it has backed them up a little bit. So they are they requested actually just a few months extension to their sales tax, but I think it makes sense to talk over with them and with Russ to extend the sales tax extension out through the end of the year, so they don't have to come back again if it's a big project. So if there's any additional delays or what that might come up that they aren't seeing right now, that they wouldn't have to come back to us yet again. The project the project itself, it hasn't changed, so they're not extending additional sales tax or anything like that. It's just simply the delay that they ran into, and then sort of us guarding against any future delays as well. So it'd be a request to extend the sales tax extension for Pinyan Manufacturing Realty LLC through the end of 2020.
Okay. May I have a resolution or motion to?
This is Rita. So moved.
Okay.
Second, Ryan.
Okay. So that's been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Roll call, Jean.
Oh, you need to roll. I'm sorry. So you ready to go?
Yep, Jean,
Yes.
Rita,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Serene,
Yes.
Kim.
Yes.
Okay, then that is carried. See, if I told you at the beginning of the meeting, I need to have Doreen kick me under the table. You didn't quite reach this time, so she's got me back in order again, so that's been passed. Okay, Steve, I know you wanted to talk about perhaps.
Yep, item 6 here.
Yes.
So I would like approval to spend up to $3,500 on a phase 1 environmental survey for a potential business park site.
Okay. Have a motion to do that or approve that?
So moved, Rita.
This is Serene, I'll second.
Thanks, Serene. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And carried. I see nothing more on this agenda. Are there other items that people would like to discuss before we adjourn?
Just that I just got a text from Doug Paddock. Apparently, Mike, the streaming didn't start again after executive session.
Oh.
You know, it's interesting because I'm looking at it on my cell phone and it looks like it is running.
Okay. Well,
I'll look
hopefully
into
it's just an issue he had. And Serene, feel free to have that backdrop every time. That's it's nice to, not that everyone's houses and such don't look very nice, but it's nice to see the outdoors.
Yeah, I had a couple of video calls with some folks from New York City, and I actually felt bad because people were like, oh, you know.
Trees. No, that's all I had, Gene.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything? If not, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Is this
I'll
right?
make the motion to adjourn.
Yeah, so moved.
Okay, moved and seconded, on favor,
Aye.
opposed, carried. Thank you everyone for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, nice job.
Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.